Please welcome to our program Jeff Sheppard from Family Wealth Group to spend a little time with us here on Christmas Eve. How you doing, Jeff?
Doing great. Good morning. Good morning.
Voice sounds better than it did on Monday, so you got rid of that crud.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. Like I said, kind of a combination of just dealing with, whatever that was in my head and throat and, ball games, yelling at ball games. A full week of ball games and that kind of thing. So thank you. I appreciate
What, do you get paranoid anymore if you get a cold or a sore throat? Do you think of COVID? COVID. I got COVID. And even I saw some research out of the UK. If you have a sore throat, runny nose, and headache, there's a good chance it's COVID. So there you go. Did you? I mean, I got a cold. I don't know, a couple of months ago, 6 weeks ago, something like that, and that runs through your mind these days. That's how we've been. This is all, I guess, a result of what we've been subjected to. So.
Yeah, you're embarrassed to cough or sneeze or sniffle. You gotta justify the cough. Oh, this is not COVID. Yeah. This is just a little tickle I have.
Yeah.
No matter what, you got to justify every
allergies.
every sound you make.
It's allergies, man. It's not COVID. It's allergies. All right, so we're down to the end of the year, and some people may be thinking, well, if I didn't make a money move this year that's going to benefit me, it's too late now. Is it too late? Are there some year-end money moves that people can do to set themselves up for a prosperous 2022?
Yeah, there are a few money moves to be thinking about. It's always a good time to reevaluate kind of your overall plan, the balance of an investment portfolio, a tax strategy, that kind of thing. Right away at the last few days of the year next week, one thing that comes to mind, especially for retirees, is looking at the tax brackets and looking at your pre-tax money, which is like IRA money and that kind of thing, 401k money. Have you kind of fully taken advantage of current tax brackets? For example, in the state of Kentucky, you are allowed to grab $31,110 out of your retirement accounts and not pay any Kentucky tax. So I can reach into my pre-tax traditional IRA, grab $31,110, and I don't pay any Kentucky state tax on those dollars. Now, I may have to pay some federal tax, so before I grab that money, I need to know exactly what my federal tax bracket is and what kind of impact that would have on me. But it might make sense to grab that money and fill in the blank, pay off a debt, do a Roth conversion, go ahead and get it into the after-tax status, because the bucket of money that is in that pre-tax traditional IRA is a bucket that we have to pay taxes on at some point. Mm-hmm. It's just a matter of when. And so I'm doing this next week when I'm going back to work. I've got several clients. We've done an analysis. We've kind of are making a final decision of how much money do we want to take out, go ahead and pay the tax, but get it in an after-tax status. So those are some things to look at, especially as our clientele at Family Wealth Group is reaching the age 72. At age 72, those required minimum distributions are forced out onto us. So there are a lot of things to look at. It's totally up to the individual, the specific needs, but always a good time to be thinking about tax efficiencies and am I positioned appropriately for the next year going into it. It's always difficult to guess and know what the market's going to do and that kind of thing. But at the same time, based upon your goals and your age and kind of your risk tolerance, doing an evaluation, making sure that you're positioned appropriately going into the new year.
Heading into the end of this month, the S&P 500 is up 25% of the year for the year, and since 2019, stocks are up 97%. That's unreal. Now, some people may be thinking about sitting back on, well, it ain't going to get any better than that, and start to rebalance their portfolios. And I guess if you can't handle a certain level of fear and trepidation, then you probably should do that, or if you're approaching an age where maybe you need to make your investments a little bit safer. But for a middle-aged person, keep riding it out. I know it's hard to give because it's hard to know what the markets are going to do, like you just said. It's hard to predict, but I guess you just have to evaluate it on your own tolerance for risk. But that's incredible, the jump in the stock, the growth in the stock market. And to think that, and I knew people back in 08 and 09, that's it, I'm getting out of the market. They took everything out of the stock market. And if you didn't get back in, you made a big mistake.
You did. You did. And it really is, young to middle-aged people, if your plan for those dollars that you have in those stocks is growth, then most of the time we will recommend sticking with that plan, especially if you're working and money's coming to you from a work check, and that money and the purpose of that money is just growth for the future. Then we do recommend, staying, in a growth mentality. Now, a lot of experts will say, as you continue to get older, your portfolio should start moving more and more conservative. And we agree with that. We have no problem with that. But, at the same time, trying to look and say, okay, the market's gone up. It's been wonderful. This year, this is going on in the world and that's going on in the world. Surely this is the time where it's going to go down. Trying to time the market is just so difficult. And people have been trying to figure out how to do that for since the market started. And so that's a very difficult exercise. So we usually revert back to the simple fundamentals of, where are you? What are your goals? How old are you? What is your risk tolerance? And then kind of helping people to navigate through, okay, therefore, here's kind of where you should be sitting in a portfolio. Here are some other instruments if you're retiring that may be a good fit. And just kind of talking through all of those options and making sure that you're not, 4 or 5 months away from retirement and your portfolio's, 95% stocks. We don't recommend that. We recommend kind of locking in some of those gains and getting to the finish line and then kind of building that plan for retirement.
Jeff, how can people get a hold of you?
859-309-0349. Our website, thefamilywealthgroup.com.
Jeff Sheppard from Family Wealth Group. Jeff, thank you very much. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you.
Merry Christmas. Look forward to talking to you. I'll be back on with you next week, but Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you, Jeff. Yeah, down the road we'll speak. Jeff Sheppard from Family Wealth Group.